Hi, this is Curt and welcome to another edition of Fire Law Roundup.
Let's start in Alabama, because why not? We just don't get to be there enough. And this, I could look, allegations, we always start off the show saying these are just allegations. These are not facts. But this, like all of them, is you could see how it happens, but it's crazy. So in Alabama, initially, let's make this real simple, right? They file a lawsuit, and the lawsuit claims that you're using a formula that gives us a certain number of hours, right? Is that the 212? Which one did they do?
Yeah, it's a pretty much a pretty standard. There's nothing out of the ordinary with this lawsuit. It's a very common FLSA claim that people's overtime is not being calculated correctly. Okay, right. It really, it's just another very common, the most common allegation in FLSA claims. By the way, it's the city of Gadsden.
Okay. Yep. And it's crazy that to me, it's crazy that employers look. You either are having them work too many hours without paying them the overtime, or you're not, right? And that it's such an easy thing to calculate. This is not difficult. Is a firefighter working more than the allotted hours in your pay period? This isn't difficult. However, they file that lawsuit. This is an amendment to the lawsuit because the employer doing things which allegedly, right, I could see them saying, but they make these threats which I believe, if true, do amount to retaliation, right? And but
clearly,
you can see how someone could make the claims or make these statements. They're like, well, now we're not going to have double overtime on working on Sundays, and now we're going to have to reduce your sick leave accrual, right? And all of these things that you're saying to your employees are just so retaliatory, saying, well, now that you filed a lawsuit, we're going to have to take all these benefits away because we can't afford it anymore. If true, boo-hoo, right? I mean, to the employer, come on. If you're violating the law, allegedly, right, by making people work more without paying them overtime more than the hours you're allowed to do in the pay period, and now you tell them, well, since you sued, you've ruined the party for everybody. You can't do that. You're quelling future lawsuits, right? And you could see some backroom talk. I could bet some backroom talk from some employers saying, or even people in the union saying, boy, if you raise this, you're going to ruin another good thing, and you just can't do that.
Yeah, I feel bad for the chief here too. It sounds like the chief is stuck between the personnel manager or whoever, one of the city administrators that's kind of calling the shots, and the firefighters. And unfortunately, the chief, at least according to the complaint, made some comments that, hey, it's not me that's doing this, but right, this is what the city's going to do. And that I've seen chiefs in that situation. Unfortunately, I've put chiefs in that position, and, right, and I said, are you sure you want to say that? Yeah. you know who you're talking to. Yeah. This is not what I want to do, but I've got to do it. And then the chief right gets on the witness stand in the trial, and he's like, yeah, that's not my recollection. So
right. And it's tough too here because somebody approves their time cards. How does it happen, right? If your allotted hours is whatever, 212 or 208, whatever it is, under your pay, under what you've negotiated, how do you see, okay, well, we have 5 more hours than that, but we're just going to pay it straight time?
Well, this was more about the paying the proper rate. It wasn't so.
Oh, I thought it was they're working too many hours.
No. It was about paying them the proper rate. And you have firefighters that, for example, let's say you have an engineer. You have an engineer, and I think it was an officer. I don't think they called him a lieutenant, but you have 2 ranks that work overtime, but they work as a firefighter or whatever. You can't just pay them at the firefighter rate. You have to pay them at their rate. And there was a few other things. So it was, again, very common type of regular rate questioning about what should they have been paid. And they also happen to have a very, one of the best law firms in the country that represents a lot of the on these FLSA claims, representing them. And, you know, they didn't pull any punches here on this retaliation claim. And, you know, if the allegations are true, the city is going to get hit with, you know, with the retaliation.
Well, and look what you're doing to those firefighters. You're saying, you know, you three people who, you know, want your proper rate, you know, you're ruining it for everybody. And my God, you just, why? It seems to me if I was in this suit, and whenever I'm in any suit, I issue a very simple directive to my clients, or tell my clients to issue a directive. No one talks about it. You don't say anything good. You don't say anything bad. You just, my answer is, if you have a question or statement, go talk to whoever, right? You don't talk about it. You sure as heck don't make these comments if they were truly made. So